guys, it's me, Marcy from Makit Takit. Today on this video, we are going to do a step-by-step painting of a pineapple. So gather all your supplies, get your work area covered, get an apron on or paint clothes, and we'll get started. So I want you to see we've got our canvas out. You're gonna need a glass of water for rinsing our brushes, a few paint brushes of different sizes, painter's tape. You need your paint palette tray. And then you also need a pencil and different colors of paint. So you girls have those things, right? Perfect. Okay, so first step we're gonna need to do is make our background, which is our stripes. So we're gonna need our painter's tape. So you're gonna go ahead and take a piece of tape, kind of make it a little bit longer than the canvas, rip it off, and I'm just gonna start with a stripe kind of towards the middle. You can choose to have your canvas going this direction or this direction. It's up to you. I'm gonna have mine going the tall way, so I want my stripes going this direction. Okay, so we're gonna tape, and you're gonna wrap the tape all the way around the back if there's extra space, because we are gonna paint our sides. Okay, then we're gonna take kind of a smaller piece of tape. This is gonna be our cheat. We're gonna stick that right above, right up against our other piece. That way we know where to put our next piece. It'll be longer. I'll show you guys. Chelsea, do you see? Okay. So that's our cheat piece. So now you're gonna make another long one. Tear it off. We are going to put it right up against that cheat piece. Flatten that one out, wrap it around the edges. So this is our first stripe, our cheat piece, and our next stripe. Then we're gonna move the cheat piece up to do the next stripe. Make sure your pieces are long enough to wrap around the sides, okay? We are gonna paint the sides, because when our canvases are hanging on the wall or up on a shelf, the sides show too, so you always want your sides painted when you're doing a canvas. Make sure your pieces of tape for your stripes are pressed down good and tight. I've got all my stripes at the top half of my canvas. How are you girls doing over there? Perfect. And Chelsea, how are you doing on yours? Good. Okay, so you can use your cheat sheet or cheat piece to go down below too. We want the stripes all over the whole canvas. Okay. And if it's not perfectly straight or anything like that, it's not the end of the world, it's just art. Art can be whatever it is. And you just keep moving your cheat piece down and up till you get all your stripes across the canvas the way you want it. Okay, wrap around. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough room for another stripe down here or not. Let's see. Looks like technically this one would be down here. Okay, my last stripe is at the very end. That's okay though. Let's tear it off, wrap it around. Okay, so I have my whole thing covered with stripes. I'm gonna set my painter's tape aside, but I'm gonna kind of give it a good rub down to make sure my edges of the tape are good and down, because I don't want any paint to seep or sneak underneath the edges. Okay, so this is creating our background. So we need to decide too what color you want to use for your background. I think I'm going to use this turquoise color. So you're gonna choose what color, and that's what you're gonna put in your tray first. Remember, a little paint goes a long way, so you don't need to like fill the spots completely. We can always get more. Are you girls doing okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, so once you are ready and you have all your lines taped off, you've checked your edges, you picked your background color, you can use your largest paintbrush to paint our stripes. And I'm gonna start at one end and paint, and you can go You can go onto the tape a little bit, that's just fine. And you just want to paint your edges and all of our stripes. Okay. And I like to do my edges kind of first before I do the center. That way I have room to hang on to the canvas. And remember, we can go right over the tape as long as you've got it pressed down good. If it seeps through a little bit, it's not the end of the world. We'll be fine. Okay, so we're going to paint all of our stripes. Get a little more paint. You girls doing okay? Okay. Okay, so I've got mine completely painted up. I'm going to rinse my brush out of my water. You don't want to pound your brush on the bottom and hurt it. You're just trying to rinse it, so I give gentle little strokes at the bottom to get through the bristles. I always kind of just do a quick rinse here in my station, and then when I'm completely done with my art, then I'll go to the sink and really rinse. Okay, once I got it pretty much rinsed out, I'm going to use my paper towel just to kind of squeeze out some excess water before I set it down. Okay. So now we'd want to go ahead and take it over and use a blow dryer to dry it, or let it air dry a little bit before we take the tape off. Otherwise we might just get fingerprints all over. So I'm going to take it over to the blow dryer and dry it. I'll be back. Okay, so once you've got it basically dry, you can either air dry or use a blow dryer. We go ahead and you can pull your tape off. And we have Chelsea over there doing hers. Kaylee is drying hers right now. And I just kind of take it off, pulling from the back side. That's kind of why I like it to be a little bit longer. And just pile your tape up. You want your nice crisp white lines. Try not to touch your white parts. Okay, so you're just taking off. Okay, so you can kind of set the tape aside, throw it in the trash later, or if you have one near you. Okay. Okay, so Kaylee, we were taking the tape off after we're basically dry. Okay. Okay, so our next step is going to be to make our pineapple shape in our leaf shape. So we're going to use the pencil for that. And then I'm just going to kind of decide, I think I want my pineapple to be the bigger section. So I'm going to make just kind of an oval shape. And you're going to don't push real hard with the pencil. You want to go light as possible because we don't want that line to show when we're done. We are going to paint over it, but if it's too dark of a line with the pencil, it'll still show. So you go on and kind of just do an oval for your pineapple and then kind of make some leaf shapes, some points. And I'm gonna make mine kind of curve over. This is not an exact science because nature doesn't grow perfectly. So I have mine. Girls, do you see what I did? I drew my pineapple oval and some leaves. Perfect. So our next step is going to be to paint those areas that we just drew, our pineapple, our body, and our leaves, black. A little bit of paint goes a long ways, remember that. We're going to use our little bit smaller brush. I'm using kind of a medium-sized brush for this. And when I get to the kind of the tips of my leaves, I think I'll switch to a lot finer tip. But for the bulk of the body and the bulk of the leaves, I'm going to do my medium-sized brush. So we're just going to do a layer of black. It doesn't need to be a thickle layer, just a layer of black. Nothing fancy. I'm just going to do nice strokes to get a good pineapple shape. Okay. Now remember, when you are watching these videos, you can pause it as you need to from home. That way you can catch up if you need to go blow dry it and come back, things like that, and just start again or play where you left off. You know, whatever you need to do. You know, rewatch it a couple times, watch it first, and then get your stuff out so you know exactly what you're doing either way. And then if you have questions or get stuck on something, don't forget we have our weekly Zooms that you can zoom in on, and I'll be there, or Christy will be there, and we'll just walk you through any questions you have if you get stuck somewhere. Okay, I'm almost done with the body of mine in black.
Same.
Okay, and I'm going to do the bulk of my leaves in the black with this brush too, before I give up on this brush. Mine aren't exactly straight, and that's okay because like nature is not perfect in what it makes, and so a pineapple and nature would not be perfect. Okay, almost done with my leaves now. Okay, I'm going to set this brush on my tray here, just in case I need to go back to that. But I'm going to get my tips of the leaves with the smaller brush. Girls doing okay over there? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm almost done with the black layer. Okay, I think I've got it pretty coated. Again, we don't want it to be super thick, so we don't want it to take forever to dry, but this is what good paintings are, is lots of layering. Background first, and then come forward. Okay, I think I'm done with my black layer, so I'm going to go ahead and put my brushes in the water, get them rinsed off. And I'm going to try my best to get these ones pretty rinsed off, because we will use some white paint, and we don't want the black to bleed through off the brush onto my white paint. Remember, you don't want to pound your brush in the bottom of your cup. You just want to gently rinse it out. I kind of just pretend like I'm painting the bottom of the cup. Just some gentle strokes to get through the bristles a little bit. Tap it off a little bit to get some of that water off, and then kind of use your towel to dry it off a little bit. Okay, tap it a little bit. off a little bit. If you go to dry it off and there's quite a bit of paint left, maybe try rinsing a little bit more. I have quite a bit left on mine. I'm going to rinse a little bit more. Okay. Dry it off a little bit. Okay. So if it's really wet, you're going to want to dry this step. You can go to the blow dryer and do it, or you can let it air dry and come back to it in a little bit. I am going to go to the blow dryer real quick. Okay, so after you got it pretty much dry, it can still be a touch wet. It's not going to be the end of the world. Our next step is going to be to kind of fill in some of our leaves. So we're going to do green paint for the leaves. Again, you don't want to get too much paint in your tray because we can always get more. I think I'm going to use my small brush and do the tips first. And you don't have to like solidly make it filled in. You want to kind of just add some green in. And so you can kind of see what I'm doing here, girls. I'm not really painting it solidly in. I'm just kind of getting some strokes of green all over. If you want it to be a darker green, you're not happy with the green you have, you can always mix with black. If you want it to be a lighter green, mix with white. Remember, when you are mixing colors, black is going to go a long ways. So if you do black, you virtually just need a drop of it.
Not even a drop.
Yeah, virtually none. Okay, and so once you get some green on those tips, you can go into your bigger brush if you want to, or continue with the smaller one. The choice is yours. Okay, I'm going to set my small one down and get my bigger one. And I'm not going to get a ton of paint on my brush. I kind of want that black to kind of show through still. And so I'm just kind of get it going. Okay, how are you girls doing over there?
Good.
Good. Nice, good job, Chelsea. It's looking good. Nice, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna fill in however full you want your green leavies to be. Okay. And I think I am going to just add a little bit more in here. Okay. More green there. I think I'm going to also add just kind of some streaks of yellow, even just barely any. So I'm just getting a little tiny bit of yellow on my palette. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm just kind of dip it in barely at all on my paintbrush. You can kind of see that. Virtually none in there. And I'm just going to kind of add some yellow in just to kind of give those leaves some dimension and light coming in. Just barely put that brush in the paint. You don't have to do this if you don't want yellow in your leaves. And I'm kind of just swooping it in a little bit. Okay. All right, so once you like the way the leaves are looking, for now, you can stop painting the leaves and let those dry. Rinse your brushes out. Okay, those little brushes are easy to rinse the most. Again, you don't want to pound that brush on the bottom of your cup when you're rinsing. Just nice strokes towards the bottom. Tap, tap, tap. Rinse it off. Okay. Okay, you're going to let that dry. While that is drying, we don't have to go get this dry right away because we're going to come down to the body of the pineapple next. And we're going to use white paint as our next step. Looks good. Nice job, Kaylee. Let me see yours, Chelsea. Very nice. Do you guys both want to hold them up? Looking good. Okay. I'm going to use white paint next. And I just put a little bit in your tray. Grab another cleaner brush. I'm going to use the medium-sized one we've been using. And this, you can get your brush fully full. And we are just going to start with making like some polka dots. And again, it doesn't have to be an exact science. Girls, do you see what I'm doing? So I've got one polka dot there. Okay. And we're just going to kind of make rows of polka dots. kind of make them close together. See how I'm getting them not too close and I can't see the black in between, but close enough that they're not super far away. And they don't have to be exactly round or anything like that. When you get over to like an edge, you see here on this one, I kind of made it a half circle. You're just going to fill the body in with these polka dots. Okay. If you end up not liking the way those polka dots work, you know, make sure you don't have too much paint on there. Use a paper towel to kind of dab off any extra, and then you can also then let it dry and paint black over it again, because the great thing about painting is that it's pretty forgiving. You can just paint right on over and move on. Switch to your small brush if you need to, if you're getting close to the edge and need like little half circles. I might have to. See how it goes. Okay, Chelsea's got lots of polka dots on hers. Looking good. I'm almost done with my polka dots. Okay, so once you're done and you think you've got enough polka dots on there, you can rinse your brush out. Remember, don't pound that brush down there. Nice strokes. We are going to want this white to be fairly dry, so if you gooped it on there, you're going to want to let it dry before you go to the next step. But if you didn't really goop it, it's just a good coating. You don't need to worry about drying it. But get your brush clean. Okay, set my water back out of the way. Okay, so we have that yellow on the tray from earlier. If you don't have yellow still, or you didn't choose to put yellow at all in the leaves, you want to get yellow onto your tray. And the yellow is what we're going to now use to kind of cover up those white dots. Very good, Kaylee, good job. Okay, so yellow is next. Fill that brush up with yellow. And you're just going to start painting in those white spots in. And if a little bit of white mixes in, that's okay. The white's going to help make it show up. You girls are doing okay? Mm-hmm. So if a little bit of white shows up on the sides of your yellow, that's okay too. Like, it's okay to have the white showing. Oh yes. Do you think it's starting to look like a pineapple?
Yep. It looks like a pineapple with polka dots.
A polka dot pineapple. If you look at a pineapple, they kind of have little polka dot shapes.
I think they look more like triangles.
Maybe good. They can a little bit. Okay.
I agree. They look more like triangles than circles.
If you have more than one color yellow, you can kind of do some of them in the darker, or you can do lighter and darker, and kind of make it almost swirly like in each circle. You can do some circles in light, some in the dark. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's your pineapple. Do it the way you want it to look. Okay. And decide if you think you've got it the way you want it. Nice. Okay. I want most of my white covered, but I'm okay with a little bit of showing. Okay, so we're going to rinse our brush again. At this point, it's kind of time for details, so I like to add in a little more of the leaves. I like it to be a full leafy area. If you're happy with the way that is, just leave it alone. I'll rinse my brush. Then I'm going to go back to my green. Set that up out of the way. And I'm going to, let's see, decide how I want to do it. I think I'm just going to go straight in with my thin brush with the green. And I'm going to add in some more leaves up here. And I'll show you here in a second. I'm just kind of adding in more leaves, girls, and more color into there. And let it dry it up a little bit. And I'm even going to add a little bit of white to this leaf a little bit. And get plenty of green in there too, if you do white. If you're going to add black and make dark green, remember just the tiniest little amount of black goes so far. And I'm going to kind of have black up here at the top. And the leaves kind of enter. All right, how are you guys doing over there?
Good.
Just get the leaves the way you want it. If you know, like I said, paint is one of these things that are so forgiving. If you don't like the way it turned out, you can just let it dry and paint over it. Okay, so I just added 2 more leaves that are much lighter color. I think I'm trying to decide what I want to do now. So I'm going to rinse that brush out. I'm going to rinse the brush out pretty much all the way, and then I'm going to use some white to kind of just add some accents to my leaves, just to kind of give it a little more texture of which leaves are in front, which are in back, that kind of thing. I'll show you girls here in a second. Okay, so you see I kind of added some white accent lines around the edges a little bit. Chelsea, do you see that too? And kind of just giving it character of who's in the front, who's in the back, that kind of thing. I get a little bit of green on my brush from doing that, so I'm going to rinse my brush out and go back to the white a little bit. Because I think I kind of feel like I want another leaf. I don't know if I'm going white or black. I think I'm going to go black. I think I want another leaf coming out this way. So you just continue adding the details until you've got your painting the way you want it. So if you like the leaves the way you've got it, you are done at that point. You can add words to your painting if you want to. Okay, I added a little black leaf there. I'm going to add some green over it. Okay, well, I think I'll keep with that brush.
This looks good. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Could I put Summer Fun on it?
Yep.
How do you spell Summer Fun?
S-U-M-M.
Here, I can do it.
Okay. Okay, so I've got an extra leaf there on that side. I'm liking the way that looks. Okay. So you can decide to be done like that. Here's what mine looks like, ladies. Okay. You can add in some accent lines and such to your pineapple if you want to with your white. Okay, so once you've got your accents, the lines the way you want it, if you want to add words, you can do that. I mean, I think, Chelsea, are you going to add summer fun, you said? So you can add words if you want it somewhere. If you want to tidy up any of the other colors. I think I've got some areas of my turquoise stripes I kind of want a little more coatage on, and so I'm going to add another coat of paint on those areas. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, so let's get these.
How do you spell pineapple?
P-I-N-E and then apple. Okay, so you're just finishing up any accents, any words, covering any, another coat of paint, anything you wanted another coat of paint on. And then you're just going to let it dry at that point. Whenever you're happy with your work, let it dry before you hang it up or gift it to somebody or put it on a shelf. Whatever you're planning to do with it, you want to make sure it's dry first.
I added texture.
Nice. Chelsea added some texture to her pineapple. That looks nice. So it is your art, so you want to make it the way you like it. Okay, I think I am finished with my pineapple, and I have a pineapple. Girls, you want to hold yours up?
I'm not done.
You're not done yet? Chelsea, you want to hold yours up? Very nice. Summer fun, and she added some texture on the pineapple. Nice. All right, well, thank you for joining us today on our step-by-step painting of pineapple. Join us again on our other videos. Thanks.